Good morning, rise and shine, and wakey, wakey. So you can tell I'm at the beach again. Love it here, and we'll start every single morning here when I am at the beach, because putting your feet on the ground, hearing the ocean, seeing the sunrises and sunsets really changes my day, like big time. So what I want to talk about today is sacred space. There's all kinds of sacred space, but I want to talk about our personal sacred space. So there's sacred space inside your head, and that space is the most sacred, of course. And then there's sacred space out in this physical world, which could be your house, your room, your work environment, your car. All these things are your sacred space. There's also your body is your sacred space. So today I want to talk about how there's only so much room in your sacred space. There's only so much stuff one can acquire before there's no more room for anything else. So think about the things we're holding on to. Think about, for me, old Nikki, think about those 500 pair of hooker heels, which not one of them was comfortable, by the way, that you had displayed so proudly in your room that you had made into your closet because you had so much shit. So let's think about the stuff that's holding up space in our lives, because guess what? When you're so full of what you are carrying around with you, there is no room for anything else. Let's talk about your car. What's in your car? Do you have room for new friends that you meet? Can they crawl on in? Or is it packed full of stuff that you don't even need? It's just sitting there. We have to clear our sacred space so we can allow new things to come in. If we're packed to the hilt, there is no room. If your refrigerator is packed full of old, outdated, moldy jams and jellies from Grandma Pat that you don't like, but you gotta keep in the refrigerator, pull those out. You can't have this stuff hanging around. It is holding you back. It is a form of self-sabotage. It is a form of stopping your progress, really. Like you will drown in stuff, in things, if you are not clearing them out, if you're not updating them. I'm using my closet and cars as metaphors, of course, for what goes on up here. What are the thoughts that you're holding on to for whatever reason that are not working for you, that are outdated? What keeps popping in that needs to be popping out? Think about those things today, and think about how sacred your space is. Think about it. I've said it before, if you're buying organic food, which you should be, and you're putting in healthy nutrients into your sacred space, but then you go home and you're turning on reality TV of any kind, really, to be quite honest, that is not putting in good stuff into your sacred space. You can eat all the organic vegetables and fruits you want, but I would take a guess to say that half an hour in front of the Kardashians, it just wiped it all out, girl and guy. Like, really, we have to be vigilant on our sacred spaces. What are we holding on to? If we have a bunch of relationships that we're holding on to just because we don't want to be lonely, we are like, guess what? Some attention's better than no attention. I've been there before. Guess what? Now, that does not work for me anymore. If I have a relationship that I'm holding on to, it's going through the system. And then I'm evaluating, guess what? Is there an exchange of energy? Is this tit worth my tat? You have to look at things in these ways, because if not, we just hold on to things that aren't working for us forever. And then we're just doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting new results, and that is cuckoo, cuckoo. That is crazy talk. So think about your sacred space today. What are you holding on to? What's rattling around up in here that is so outdated? So 1980, what are you holding on to from the 8th grade that you can laugh at now? Look at these things. Same thing in your home. What are we holding on to that's taking up space? Can we have our friends come over and spend the night? Can we have several guests in our house being around our community? Or is our place so packed we don't even have room for our stuff? Think about these things. What are the things that you want coming into your home? Do you want new relationships coming into your home? Do you want community coming over and having slumber parties like back in the day? I do. That's my favorite thing, is getting together with my community, with my tribe, having slumber parties, staying up late into the night around bonfires and talking about all things that get us excited. Like, I love that. So I better make some room for my peeps to come. I better change my dressing room closet into another bedroom. So these are things that we have to look at, this sacred space of ours. So today, while you're out there doing your due, see if you can catch some things that are in your sacred space. See if you can kind of purge, maybe let go of some things that you're holding on to that are taking up room for what's next for you. What's the next chapter for you? That's what we're going after. Unless you're perfectly content staying how you are, that's perfectly cool too. But if you're not, because you know this is your dream, you know you can change it with your thoughts, you know you can be proactive in finding and creating your own happiness, then I suggest you look at your sacred space today and see what you can pull out of the closet. Anything that hits the light, poof, it's like magic. Easy to let go of. If you keep it in the closet, hidden forever with the skeletons and the cockroaches, cobwebs are gonna get on there and it's gonna get harder and harder to get through that door. So today, purge that sacred space, or at least examine it, look at it, and maybe call yourself on your own BS. Sacred space. You know why? It's your dream. Make it the best dream you can.